Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. We've got a voice effect here on, so hold on. Take that off of there. That sounds crazy. This is Kevin Rouch. Glad you're with us today. Should have known better than play around with everything beforehand. Let's see if we can get that off there for you. There we go. Now we're ready. I got caught playing with sound effects on here before and couldn't get my way out of the tunnel there. Finally did. Now we're back. Hey, this is Kevin Rouch. This is the Daily Scrum. We wind up a week. We've got another great guest today, Chris Sprague, coming on, the director of everything media for the Columbus Clippers, will join us here in just a minute. So just so you know, so we've got this really fancy little audio mixer. And what it does is it gives you these touch pads to make your voice sound weird. And it doesn't tell you that you got to turn them off. Like, it just doesn't stop. You got to, so I was playing around with it. There's a robotic one and, one with the real deep voice. All that. Well, it's Friday. So today we're going to talk about minor league baseball. And Chris Sprague's the guy to do it because not only has he worked for the last few years for the Clippers, but before that, he was with the International League for quite a while, the AAA, one of the AAA leagues in the country. And he'll be able to talk about that. And before that, he actually worked for the Blue Jackets. So he's a guy who's been around Columbus. And we look forward to talking to him. Before we do that, we'll get that call going here in just a sec. Just a reminder, next week we are going to start a new way of doing things. That's a technical phrase, but what we're going to do is we're going to be on X live at noon. We're going to move to noon on X, and then we'll upload everything to YouTube. So it will still be available on our YouTube channel, but we'll do it live on X. And we just had a lot more followers, do have a lot more followers on X, and we want to let them know. So next week, look for that. But if you don't want to worry about it, just go to YouTube or on the front page of our website at cbusports.com, and you can get all that information there. We'll look forward to that. Hey, so let's get our friend Chris Sprague on the line. So you can hear us actually making the call. That's the way we're doing things today to make it a little bit easier.
This is Chris.
Hey, Chris, this is Kevin Rouch. We are on the air.
Hi, Kevin. How are you?
I'm doing super well. How are you today? I know you're in the middle of a homestand, so I know you're rushed. So I won't.
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually our longest homestand of the year, 9 games. So we've been at it for a little bit here, but always pleasure to talk to you.
Well, thanks for jumping on. And the reason, I mean, you took over for a legend there, number one. You worked for a legend. Still kind of are, right? Because Ken is still involved. Ken Schnocky is still involved with the club.
Absolutely.
But you've seen a lot of change in your short time there. And you've seen a change in the way they conduct the game on the field. You've seen a change in the way the media covers everything just in short time. But before we do all that, the first time somebody's on, and this will be the first of, we hope, many, you are a Dayton kid?
That is correct. I born and raised in Dayton.
I think if I read the LinkedIn right, I don't want to lie to people. I looked the stuff up just like everybody. But you're a Trotwood Madison guy and then went to UD.
That is correct. Dayton Flyer class of 2002.
How did you find your way to Columbus?
Well, I studied sports management in college. I knew all along I wanted to work in sports, pretty much from the day that I realized I wasn't good enough to play sports
Yeah,
anymore.
like
But,
all of us. Yeah.
it was, still a way to be around it. And had an internship with the Blue Jackets in their early days, and was able to get a job with them out of college. So I moved to Columbus to be part of the Blue Jackets, beginning in their second season.
Wow. So you saw it in the infancy. And I know you're a fan still. What do you see different? How has that all changed? And is it gone bigger than you thought it would be with the Jackets?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I went to a handful of games this year, and the way they have just continued to raise the bar on their presentation, it's certainly amazing, no doubt about it, and a lot of fun going to those games. But even back in my day when I was there, I believe we had a banner raised for winning an award from ESPN as the best fan experience of any
Oh, wow.
major league sports entertainment venue in the country, including NFL, MLB, and BA. So that was something I think Nationwide Arena and the Arena District and downtown Columbus is just always going to be a fantastic place for sports.
Now, you then went to the International League, and, you and I have talked. I'm a baseball guy. I worked in independent leagues primarily. The International League is a big deal, and it's based here in Columbus. And talk about that experience. And you kind of grew in that role as well. But I've been in independent ball with, up to, I think we got up to 12 teams when I was there. When you get the International League, boy, you get a plate full.
Well, in my days in the league office, there were 14 teams in the International League. There's 20 now that the Clippers are competing against. But yeah, it was certainly an amazing experience for me. I spent 16 years in the league office there. And you talk about working for a legend. I worked for a legend there. Randy Mobley, the longtime International League president, was a legendary figure in minor league baseball and in Columbus baseball. I came from the Clippers originally. And that was, certainly a wonderful experience getting to work with all of the teams in the league, including the Clippers. And it was an easy transition for me then to come on over and work for these guys.
Now, when you're involved in AAA ball, as you were with the International League, and still are, what are the? Independent ball for me, we were in control, right? We didn't have anybody above us. We had a lot of people above us, but none of them were telling us, what to do. But there, you've got to work so closely with Major League Baseball and the teams, the parent clubs. How did that make it a different experience?
Well, you're absolutely right. Working with Major League Baseball all the time, there's also a national minor league baseball office based in St. Petersburg, Florida, that sort of governed each of the leagues, including the International League. We were fortunate. Our place among the leagues, we were at the AAA level, the highest level, and was the oldest running league. The International League is the second oldest professional sports league in North America, behind only the National League of Major League Baseball, having begun in 1884. So certainly, something great to be a part of that, working for. I think first and foremost, we considered ourselves as working for the 14 teams. We worked at the pleasure of the teams of the league. We didn't govern them. They told us the way that they wanted the league to run, and then it was up to us to see that out. And that was always our philosophy, and the philosophy that Randy passed on to me every day working for him. And we made it all the way up until 2020, the COVID season, when there was no season for the International League. That was when the league office closed at that point.
Yeah, what's interesting about all of that, I just know dealing with various owners as a league official in the days, boy, it was a tightrope to walk, even in independent baseball. You just had a lot of personalities, and was that the same thing? Do you have those same concerns at the AAA level? Obviously, Columbus is a little different in a way, but in other places, is that as difficult as I found it?
Well, yeah, absolutely. And you talk about, working for the teams. They certainly don't all, agree. We have Major League sized markets in the International League, and you have some smaller markets. Rochester, New York, for example, might not be, the same situations on things like hotels and parking, and a lot of the things that we deal with on a league-wide basis, as say Indianapolis and Columbus. There's no doubt that's part of it, but it's just all about your relationships and trust and working together. I've always found the teams of the International League really do a lot for each other. There's not a lot of, I guess I should say there is a lot of unselfishness that is just constantly on display and working together, sharing ideas that work, that sort of thing has been a staple of the league ever since I've been a part of it.
And, from my standpoint, I've visited a couple on behalf now of CBUS Sports, and it's been really easy. I guess I had this bias in my head of, again, having worked for perhaps the lowest rung of organized baseball on the professional level, but the same kind of, I don't want to say small town, but the idea that it's going to be friendly and accessible and all that has worked great wherever I've been, especially with the Clippers. That's just been a dream for a baseball guy to hang around Huntington Park. So I appreciate it. If I haven't thanked you before, I'll thank you now in front of everyone. It's just been a great experience to be there.
Well, we always love having you down, and I couldn't agree with you more. I think Huntington Park is second to none in certainly minor league baseball, and it's just a wonderful venue, a wonderful thing to have right in the middle of downtown Columbus with such a big green space. We have lots of trees and bricks. It's just a beautiful setting, a true park in the middle of downtown. It's the reason this place has won numerous awards and is just a wonderful place, to bring the family. Even though you're downtown and we're right next to, the arena and the soccer stadium and everything else, it does feel like a small town kind of community when you're here. Goodness, you can on Sundays, it's family day. You can bring a family of 6 for $18.
And I was telling somebody that the other day. I said, okay, here's the deal. Because I have said on this show a couple of times now that the best entertainment dollar, the bang for your buck in town, is Sunday at Huntington Park. You get those 6 people in under $20, and you get to sit either in the bleachers, right, or on the lawn out there on the knoll. And it's a great place to watch a game from. It's just awesome. And
certainly,
you better get there early because people know how now to do those blankets out there, so they can carve out their own space. But it's just fantastic. I'm just surprised that, maybe you don't even have to talk about it because it's always full. So maybe you guys are doing it exactly right. But I talk to people that I know and I say that, especially with small kids, it's like this. Bring your mom and dad and bring your 2 kids and you guys go and have a blast. And it just everything feels accessible. The staff is great. They get a little harried on Tuesday nights with Diamond Dog. But I want to ask you, so you go from the International League kind of to, obviously one team. What was your expectation coming in when you decided? You obviously know everybody. And you understand what they're doing, but you've got this beautiful place. We all remember, we have fond memories of Cooper Stadium, but we also know kind of the warts of that facility. We miss it in some ways, right? We all do because you kind of grow up with that. But, to have the facility that you do now, when you then got the job there, what were your expectations and has it been what you thought it was going to be?
Well, it certainly has been. One thing that Randy and I would kind of use to evaluate teams and front offices and franchises of the teams that we worked with in the league, you could just kind of tell when there were places that had a lot of people on the staff who were lifers, who just stayed forever. And the Clippers have probably more of those than anybody. as I speak to you today, there's people who've been on the staff close to 50 years, several of them here back to the beginning days of the Clippers in the late 70s.
Yeah.
And you just know that when an organization can keep people like that, that they must treat people right. So, that was my expectation, is that they must treat people right, and they certainly do. There's no doubt about that. It's coming to the Clippers. The Clippers have been one of the top model franchises in the minors for a long time now. And it was just about kind of finding, my way to come in and help. Kind of the timing of it, this was on the heels of the missed season with COVID when I came over to the staff in 2021. And, obviously they had to lose some people, as everybody did at the time. The COVID, losing a season was a huge blow to
just awful
franchises, obviously. Just not built to sustain not being able to sell tickets for an entire year and a half when you look at the calendar from when your last game was in 2019 to when we got back in 2021 there. It was just more about, they needed help in lots of areas. My experience in the league office was sort of broad, working with, the teams in lots of different areas. So it was just sort of where can I, plug in, kind of be a utility player here and kind of just step in and help. And, since then, as the staff is filled back out and is in great shape right now and really just kicking on all cylinders, they've been able to kind of help me find my way to the side of the organization that I would most enjoy, which is working in the press box and working with the media relations and the website and those sorts of things, kind of similar to what I did in the league office the most. So it's a very enjoyable place for me to be working, no doubt about it.
Well, people should, obviously I'm on the website every day because that's how I get to, if I'm not at the park that I'm watching, it's just so great. You know exactly what's going on with the game day stuff. And it's easy to do. It's easy to write about later. If you can't make it there, you can watch it for free on the Bally Sports app. You get to listen. Ryan Mitchell and I have been friends for a long time. I'm thrilled that he's there and get to listen to him. And then, you got other announcers fighting over the ability to get in the booth. You get guys like Paul Keels and Bob McElligott and, all those guys are the cream of the crop here in town, and they want to do Clippers games. I think that says a lot.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. And Ryan is the best in the business as far as AAA baseball. We're certainly glad to have him. He's been a Clipper a long, long time now. And you're right, Bob and Paul and everybody who joins Ryan there in the broadcast. If you watch our games are all streamed live. Tonight's game, as I speak to you here on Friday, is actually going to be the free game of the day.
Oh, cool.
MILB TV and MILB.com. If you have the app or the website, you can go to and you can watch for free if you've never seen it. And our production team does an amazing job. It is really a major league level broadcast quality of our games. And if you have the subscription, all the archive games are on there too. We certainly miss the days where all the media would come to the games all the time and the press box was full of beat writers and the newspaper writers and everything like that. And as you say now, you don't really have to come here to be in person. We know all you guys have busy lives and you can't get here to every game. But it's, as you say, really great that you can kind of follow along live with the game day application. That's sort of who fills the press box now is all the stat guys who are entering all this information so that everybody can follow along. But it's really amazing. And you're not just, certainly not just seeing the score and the basic box score you would used to see. I mean, you can instantly see every single pitch, exactly down to the 10th of a mile per hour, how fast it was, what kind of pitch, the exit velocity of when the batter hits the ball, and just an amazing litany of statistics that are now available.
Well, and it's been a lot of fun, and one of the fortunate things that I get to do when I am there is go down and take some photos. I know my way around the dugout, so I avoid any problems, at least so far, knock on something. But the thing that I'm always reminded of is how young these players are. Even at the AAA level, you've got some guys, and you just don't know that till you're standing shoulder to shoulder with them down there and just see that, there's some old, when I say older, in their 30s. But when you see guys, that have excelled and made it in their early 20s, you're just reminded how young these guys are and how much they have to learn about the game. And you get to watch that growth. I think that's baseball is so great because it is so many games within the game. And then you add in the kind of personal aspect of it. I just think it's fascinating. I don't know why people don't go all the time. I really don't, because I just think it's special like that. And I'm sure you feel the same way. You've been around it a long time.
Well, there's no doubt about it. And, I really hear what you're saying. Most of our lineup this year is under 25. And we've got a lot of just really nice, great young prospects that are here. And a lot of guys that people are really excited about right now.
Oh, yeah.
Chase DeLauder, for example, one of the top prospects in baseball. I think he's rated the number 2 prospect in the Cleveland organization. Yep. And we've gotten to watch him this year. Just an amazing player at the plate and in the field. He is, let's see here, I've got it right in front of me. He is 23 years old.
Yeah. And he is central casting, isn't he, for a baseball player?
Yeah, he
just has a look.
No doubt about it. He looks good on a baseball card. He believes he's a ball player, and is probably one of the more talented players I've certainly seen come through this park.
Well, and you've got a couple guys going to the Futures game, right? You got C.J. Kafus, first baseman / outfielder, and Parker Messick, the starting pitcher.
Exactly right. Yeah. In fact, they left here today. They're going down to Atlanta to play in that game tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
And again, 2 more guys. CJ Kafus is 23 years old. Parker Messick's 24. And very nice young guys, very personable guys that it's easy to root for, and is drawing a lot of interest. We've gotten just an unbelievable amount of media requests, not just from Columbus but from Cleveland. A lot of people up there are very excited about some of these guys. And, here in Columbus, this is our chance to come see them, while they're here. These are going to be the next crop of great players in Cleveland, the next Guardians.
Yeah.
And, it's so much fun to watch Guardians games now. The vast majority of their lineup and their pitchers have played for the Clippers, and we've gotten to see them. And when you come see them here, you can see them really up close. As you say, as they're learning the game and putting the final touches on the skills they need to be in the big leagues. And it's just so fun to be part of that process and watch it.
Yeah, I grew up a Reds fan, but after spending time around the Clippers, I think I watch more Guardians games now than I do Reds games. Because you know the guys, you know who they are, and you have a kind of you're vested,
You're exactly right. And, don't discount, we get to see great prospects for all the organizations as they come through.
Well, sure, Louisville in town now for the Reds. Yeah.
Exactly right. The Reds prospects are here. We've gotten to see some of their guys as well. So that's certainly a very fun part of being a part of baseball. I talk about how much fun it is for a family, everybody to come to a Clippers game. You really don't have to like baseball to enjoy our games. There are lots of people that come just to be part of it, just to be out at the ballpark, just to kind of socialize. And frankly, whether the Clippers win or lose, they're going to have a good time. But if you are a baseball fan, we have an absolutely amazing product to offer you as well.
Right, and you just have great sight lines there. There's just so much. I've been in, obviously, like you, a lot of parks, and there's just really nothing about it that is a minus. Maybe it's a bad day for the team, but you're right. You just don't have bad experiences there. It's funny, when I first started in professional baseball in the office, I saw a study from Affiliated Ball that talked about how many people knew what the affiliation was after, when they left the park, what level of baseball it was, and it's a lot less than you think. They're there for the experience, right? They're there for that entertainment or sharing a first game with their child or whatever it is. And you get that in spades there. And then you throw in things like Dime a Dog Night. I got to ask you about that, because I'm not going to make you, because Tyler had this, he took the fifth on this. So I'm not going to push, but I look at the numbers and they're getting bigger this year. Each day gets a little bit bigger. Those Tuesdays when you guys are at home, that must just floor you guys when you see those numbers.
It is amazing, but people love those hot dogs. Obviously, I believe this past Tuesday we were beyond our normal capacity in the park, and I think we crossed 19,000. I think it was just over 19,000 hot dogs that Huntington Park knocked out that day. So What can you say?
It's
Come fix it. And Diamond Dollars goes back to I believe the first Diamond Dog Night was 1 month into the history of the Columbus Clippers back in 1977 at Franklin County Stadium, I believe it was called then, before they changed the name to Cooper Stadium.
Yep.
But May of 1977, the first Diamond Dog Night, and we've had it ever since. And Ken Schnocky likes to joke that there was one year he thought about raising it to a quarter, and there was nearly going to be a riot in town. So
I believe it. Well, and you've got a great sponsor for it, so it all works out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, our Tansky Tuesday Diamond Dog Night is every single Tuesday that we play. It's generally the first game of the series in the current schedule system. We play kind of Tuesday through Sunday homestands, so that Tuesday night is always going to be a really popular one, and come early to get those Diamond Dogs.
Now, before I let you go tonight, what's going on tonight at Huntington Park?
Well, obviously, still with the Reds affiliates in town. It's a really big deal for that. Friday is $5 Friday, and there's always kind of a special deal every night of the week on concessions or something like that. $5 Friday, where you can there's a deal with pizza and a drink for $5. I know there's some other drinks, I believe, the beer and wine that are $5. I don't get around to all the concessions, so I don't always know what those are, but I know that that's always a really popular one with the fans. We've got some special stuff going on this weekend, too. The Family Day, you mentioned on Sunday, which is just always a great day to bring the kids to the park. We always do the fun run on the field after the game every single Sunday, where kids of all ages can come down and run the base paths. And we've got a character appearance that day from a PBS Kids character, Eleanor. That I'm told is a very big deal. So my daughter's a little too old for that one now, but she'll be out. And the next series we have coming up, we just announced a John Kinsey Noel Big Christmas Clippers bobblehead.
Oh, fantastic!
To the first 1,000 fans through the gate on Friday, July 25th.
Yeah, and he's back with the club as of the last couple of days, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been here kind of up and down a little bit this season. But yeah, we love John Kinsey when he's here. He's been one of the more fun Clippers to watch. Certainly provided us with a lot of great moments, a lot of walk-off hits and home runs. And we know just like all these guys, they'd rather be in Cleveland, rather be in the big leagues. We understand that. It's our job to help do everything we can to help them get ready for doing that. But when they're here, we certainly love to watch them play, no doubt about it. John Kinsey's one of the best. So, yeah, that bobblehead night is July 25.
July 25th. Mark it on your calendar now. I guarantee I'll be there. I said before, but this will be the last thing. The one baseball thing, and again, you run the press box, and you see the automatic balls and strikes system, which has evolved now, which I think is incredible. As an old baseball purist, I don't mind it a bit. I think it's great. It's so fast. That's the thing. It takes no time, but you have great people that run it up there. It's easy to see. You got to kind of time out when you're going to call it. Do you think it's headed to Major League Baseball? And if so, when?
It certainly seems that way. There's no doubt about it, that the momentum is heading there. This is the third year we've had it here in the minors and at the AAA level and at Huntington Park. As you say, it's very interesting. It's very amazing to be able to do that and have that information up there. And when we have it in the games, when the player challenges the call, and we see the result, we've had some amazing moments. The crowd will really react to the result of the challenge. And, sometimes they'll play a game show sound effect when the other team gets wrong, and turns out the guy did strike out and has to leave the field. So, it makes for some very interesting moments for the umpires as well.
Well, it would have saved me a lot of time. I was the rules guy in the Frontier League and had to levy fines and suspensions for umpire, player, manager stuff, and it would have saved a lot of time because you just don't see that as much.
And I'll tell you, just something that is a clear change from even 10 years ago. I can't recall the last time I saw a heated argument with a home plate umpire about balls and strikes.
Yeah.
At all, which used to just be a routine part of the game, obviously. which is why, we needed a system like this. But, now it's in place. And even, we're not using the full ABS anymore where the system calls the balls and strikes forward.
Yeah, that was like the first 3 games of the week, right? And then you did the other.
Right.
Yeah.
That was sort of the first idea, was testing out that system. And I'm a baseball purist too, but I didn't mind that system. I kind of thought, gee, if we can just get all 100% of these calls right, why not do it?
Yeah.
But,
well, who knows?
Yeah, but people aren't quite ready for that, I don't think, at least not everybody.
Yeah.
The current system with the challenges, the home plate umpire makes all the calls, just like always. But, if the teams disagree, they have a mechanism in place to challenge it. If they're not going to put their money where their mouth is and challenge, then they, then what is, they can't argue.
Yeah.
And if they challenge and they're wrong and they lose their challenges, then, can't really get too upset with the umpire after that. So,
yeah, and I'll tell you the thing that
taking that out.
Yeah, the thing that I've noticed is catchers and batters do okay. Pitchers are terrible at complaining. So whatever that is,
pitcher always thinks it's a strike.
Yeah. So if I were the manager, I'd say no pitcher's ever making a call, and never in the first 3 innings, because I hate you have those games where they use them all up, and we're not even into the 4th inning yet. So
well, and where we'll get is eventually, stats on these challenges. And
that's true.
Which players are the best at it, and what situations are the best, and when to do it and when not. And I'm sure there'll be a whole system of analytics. We joke about calling it challenges above replacement or something like that. But I don't know what they'll come up with, but there's certainly a whole lot there.
Well, I'm going to let you get back to it because I know you got a lot to do. I just want to tell folks that, if you go to the ballpark, you see all the fun. I'm sure you've all enjoyed it. I just want to let you know that behind the scenes, same stuff. That's the way everything runs there. And I just feel lucky to be part of that as an old baseball guy. It's what I played, went to umpire school, did all that stuff, announced it. And there's no better day for me than coming down and hanging out at Huntington Park. And Chris is a big reason why. So we appreciate it very much. And I will be back, not in this homestand. We actually are doing this remotely today. I won't go into great detail, but we'll be back next week. And then when you guys get back in town after the All-Star, we'll be there to see you. So thanks for everything that you do for us. And have a great gate tonight and have a lot of fun.
All right. Well, thanks, Kevin. We appreciate it as always. And we'll see you here later in July when Buffalo comes to town.
All right, man. Look forward to it. See you then.
Okay.
Thanks, Chris. Kevin. Bye now. That was Chris Sprague. He has a title, but it doesn't describe all the stuff that he does. He handles the media in the press box, yes, but he's kind of one of those go-to guys. I've seen him looking at various pictures that his photographers bring in order to do, certain social media he's just making decisions the whole time we're there, and he does it with a smile and a lot of grace. So we appreciate that. I've been in some press box where that was not the case. Sometimes because of me. We'll save that story for another day from Richmond, Indiana in the Frontier League, when someone dropped a sign down in front of me complaining about my going after the official score on the air. Dropped a sign down in front of me from the roof, and the press box was on the roof in Richmond. And it was Richmond. It's on the roof, and I chased the person off the roof. I didn't know what I was going to do if I caught him, which I didn't. Also left my microphone, which you don't do. Anyway, we'll go into more detail when we talk to Eric Welch the next time, because he knows that stadium very well. But that's going to do it for us today. I mean, we're so lucky to have the guests. We had 5 really good guests on this week. Ed Francis from First Ohio Battery on Monday. We talked some hockey on Tuesday. I want to make sure I get all these right. On Tuesday, let's go to the because I sometimes I just don't remember the order. Then that's how bad it's getting. Hold on here. Well, we're gonna do this, and thank everybody. Well, here we are. So Monday we had Ed Francis from First Ohio Battery. On Tuesday we had Aaron England, of course, from Late Lap, who did interview Kenny Wallace on his racing podcast on Wednesday night, but we had Aaron on Tuesday. We had Eric Welch, Mr. Baseball, in on Wednesday. Yesterday, it was Ian Phillips from the Ohio Hockey Digest and Chris Sprague today from the Columbus Clippers. So we covered a lot of ground. We're glad that you covered it with us. Next week, again, we're moving. We'll have more guests and more information, but we're going to go to X, the platform X, starting at noon each day. Again, be about an hour, maybe a little less than that. And then we'll send it up. We'll upload it, the recorded version, so you can listen to it later on YouTube if that makes it easier for you. But again, noon on X, later on YouTube. So we'll let you know when all that happens. Keep you prompted. But we've got about 1,600 followers on X, formerly known as Twitter, and we want to get them involved. So we've got a few more viewers of the show because we're very proud of what we're doing and our guests. So yeah. Well, that's going to do it for us today. As I mentioned, we're not in Studio B. We are in the great beyond today, showing that we can do this show remotely. Well, we're glad you were here today, and we thank Chris Sprague one more time. Keep your fingers crossed. Monday on X at noon. We hope to see you then. So, from everybody here at the Daily Scrum, I'm Kevin Rouch. Have a great weekend, everybody.